Locho sampo pa gyu trashi pa tuche tempe tile yarngo da pegye drolor zampe tse parache palden lame shabla solvade Om A Guru Vajradhara Sumatimo Nishasane Kar Uta Vardanya Shri Bad Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om A Guru Vajradhara Sumatimo Nishasane Kar Uta Vardanya Shri Bad Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Dara Sumatimo Nishasane Karm Uta Vardanya Shri Bad Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Pakyuke Kodan Dagi Lo Pakyuke Sondan Dagi Nga Pakyuke Todan Dagi Yi Tenyerme Chikto Jingi Lo Makyuke Kodan Dagi Lo Makyuke Sondan Dagi Nga Makyuke Todan Dagi Yi Tenyerme Chikto Jingelo Om Muni Muni Hamuni Shakyamuni Shakyamuni Soha Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Sangye Chodan Soge Chonamla Chancho Pardo Dani Kyapso Chim Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Druparesha Sangye Chodan Soge Chonamla Chancho Pardo Dani Kyapso Chim Dagi Chishe Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Druparesha Sangye Chodan Sogi Chonamla Chancho Pardo Dani Kyasochi Dagi Chishe Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Druparesha. In the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge and enlightenment. Through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So, today we go to the conclusion of the practice of self-healing. And we still have to see a few things, which are basically the 4 initiations and the part of conclusion, and how to practice in between sessions. Okay? And there are basically 2 different ways how we can do this part of the practice. As yesterday we already talked a little bit about it, which is one way is specifically here where we do the initiation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. One way is to do it having the total awareness or the divine pride of being a Buddha. And the other way is having generated the divine pride but not really having it. So we still see ourselves with our defilements and so on, okay? So let's say one way is for more beginners, another way is a more advanced way of doing, okay? So let's go to the points, otherwise we have still a few things to see. And then if we have more time after, then we can go to other things. So the completion stage, as we saw yesterday, is divided into these 4 parts, which are called the 4 initiations. This way of making the division of the completion stage is also because, as we said in the beginning, self-feeling is a self-initiation practice. Okay? So here we have the initiation of the vase, the secret initiation, the wisdom initiation, and the word initiation. We can use the word initiation or we can use the word empowerment. Basically, it's the same meaning. Actually, none of them, I think, really gives the right idea perfectly. So the main point is like in Tibetan we say one, it's more near to empowerment in the sense that it's the transmission of power, the transmission of blessing, of permission. Okay? Anyhow, we start with the first in the practice. When we finish the generation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, one thing which we didn't explain yesterday, just to be complete, we go very quickly, is the meaning of the mantra when we generate the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So we start with Buddha Vajrayana, and we say Om Korlo Nangse Dorje. Om is the 6th syllable. Korlo means the will, because we have first generated the will with the syllable Om, and then the will with the syllable Om transforms into Buddha Vajrayana. So we have Om Korlo, which is, the Korlo means will, so the will marked by Om. Om Korlo Nangse Dorje. Nangse Dorje means Vajrayana in Tibetan. Okay? So basically, Om Korlo Nangse Dorje means Vajrayana out of the will marked by Om. Okay? Om Korlo Nangse Dorje. A Pema Che Dorje. A is the 6th syllable. Pema means lotus. Che Dorje means Amitabha. Hun Dorje, Mikyo Dorje. Hun is the 6th syllable. Dorje is the symbol, the Vajra. Mikyo Dorje means Akshobhya. Tram Norbo Rinchun Dorje. Tram is the 6th syllable. Norbo is the jewel, the symbol. And from the jewel marked by Tram appears Supreme Healer Ratna Sambhava Rinchun Dorje. Then Ri Natso Dorje, Tunyo Dorje. Ri is the 6th syllable. Natso Dorje means the double Vajra. Tunyo Dorje is Amoghasiddhi. Okay? That's the meaning of the words that we recite. After this, we go to the completion stage and we start with Buddha Amoghasiddhi. One thing is that once we understand well how is the working one of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, then all the rest is very, very similar. So we will go mostly into details about one, then the other ones we just change the little parts, and basically the visualization and everything is very similar. Just need to change the chakra, the color, the defilement, and so on, but the process is the same. Okay? There are different levels, different ways how we can do the visualization at this part of the practice, and other parts also, but specifically here, there are different ways how we can do the practice. A more simple way, middle, very complex way. There are different levels how we can do it, okay? All of them are fine, all of them are correct. There's no problem like Gradually, we need to start with the more simple one, and slowly we can get deeper. Okay? And it's also a way of adapting to our own level of practice, or our own level of understanding also. So I will explain like a more simple middle way. I'm not going to go into the very more complex way of doing it. So what we do is, first of all, we request the blessings. So we start with Lama Tönyo Dorje Kyen. Lama means guru. Tönyo Dorje means Amoghasiddhi. So Guru Amoghasiddhi Kyen. Kyen literally means know, to know. Actually, Tibetan is an interesting language because the same words, when they change context, they can change very much meaning. No? So the word Kyen, normally it means to know. For example, Tamche Khenpa in Tibetan means the one is one of the names of Buddha. Tamche means all, Khenpa means the one who knows, the knower of all, Tamche Khenpa. But the word Kyen, in the moment it means know, it means also it's used as a form of request. You who know, help me that I don't know. Okay? So it's very common, for example, in Tibetan, when writing a letter to someone, especially someone to whom we pay a lot of respect. In Tibetan language, there's so much formality for writing. It's like there's a big book with all the different ways how to write letters. How to write letter to your parents, how to write letter to your brothers, how to write letter to your teacher, how to write letter to the doctor, how to write a letter to the guru, how to write a letter to the president or whatever. And like, if you need to write a letter to the king, for example, you have 3 pages just of formalities. Then you write what you need to write, which maybe is 2 sentences, and then another page just of closure of formalities again. Okay? And then, like this is, for the gurus, maybe 1 page, half page, whatever. And very beautiful. It's all poetry, and like, if you need to write to your friend, you start by saying, to my most dear friend, to which our friendship cannot be taken away as it's stable with 100,000 knots and things like this. There are many ways how it's written. And then after you write long thing, then you say, okay, that's what I want to say. Okay? And it's very common in these letters. When you finish the letter, you finish with Kyen, Kyen, Kyen. You write Kyen 3 times. It's a way of paying respect, but it's also a way of making a request. Kyen means to know. But in this case, when we say Kyen, Lama Tönyo Dorje Kyen, Guru Amoghasiddhi, you who know all, please help me. We say it's a way of making a request. Okay? So Kyen in this case means, we could translate as a sort of a please. It's not exactly please. It means, you who know, help me that I don't know. So in the moment that you say you are the one that knows, it implies that I don't know. It implies that I need something. So we may request the blessings in this case. So we'll say, Lama Tönyo Dorje Kyen. And very often, there's also this very beautiful prayer in Rinpoche, Lama Kyen, Lama Kyen, Kyamne Kundu Lama Kyen. Kyen means it's this way of making a request. It's like saying please in a quite deep way somehow. So in this moment, when we do Lama Tönyo Dorje Kyen, we join our palms, our hands in the secret chakra. But we make the request to Guru Buddha Amoghasiddhi that is in the secret chakra of the Guru Buddha in front of us. Okay, so we have Guru Buddha in front of us. In his 5 chakras are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So we connect to Guru Buddha Amoghasiddhi in his secret chakra. And then we make request to bless us and to give us, in this case, the empowerment of each one of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. We start by requesting the empowerment of the bell empowerment. Okay? When we talk about the empowerments of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, one of the meanings of it is that symbols are used. Okay? In this case, it's used the bell. And then what we imagine is that through the symbols, these are the conditions through which we experience a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness. Then this sensation of great bliss and emptiness purifies the negativities. Okay? So, who is purifying the negativities is not Buddha Amoghasiddhi. It's the sensation of great bliss and emptiness that we generate by receiving the bell empowerment. So through the condition of the bell empowerment, which in this case is the symbol of the bell, at this moment we experience a sensation of great bliss and emptiness that fills completely our body with this whole bliss, and this purifies all our negativities and sicknesses and so on, especially related to our secret chakra. Okay? So, when we do the little bit like longer version of this part, then we visualize that there is the symbol. The symbol is transformed into, appears as Buddha Amoghasiddhi, the bell. Then is made offerings to Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Then Buddha Amoghasiddhi transforms again into the bell. And then the bell is given to us. Or also the bell is played. And through the sound of the bell that we listen, we experience this new sensation of great bliss and emptiness. Okay? So, this is when we say how more or less all this, the 5 initiations are working in the same process. So in this moment we have Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Amoghasiddhi, which is Tönyo Drupa, Siddhi means to realize. Tön means meaning, which means the one that realizes everything. The one that all realizes. Tön means meaning, objective. Drup means to realize. Okay? So Amoghasiddhi is the one that eliminates fear. It represents the power of realization, the certainty in every action. Okay? And so, related to this, we request the blessings, and then we visualize in front of us Buddha Amoghasiddhi. We can visualize Buddha Amoghasiddhi playing the bell, or we simply visualize Buddha Amoghasiddhi, and we have all, how to say, the also it's possible to visualize like the symbol absorbing into us. Okay? Or we visualize that we receive one bell from Buddha Amoghasiddhi also. And then all the light and nectar which is coming from Buddha Amoghasiddhi, it absorbs into our own body, and especially we concentrate in Buddha Amoghasiddhi at our own secret chakra. Okay? As I said before, here there are 2 ways of doing this. One way is seeing ourselves having a perfect divine pride. So if we have generated a perfect divine pride, we do not purify any negativities because we are already a Buddha. So we simply concentrate in the Buddhas, in the great bliss and emptiness, and in the Buddha at each one of our 5 chakras. We do not concentrate into eliminating our own negativities. But in the moment that we do not have such a perfect divine pride, and we still have the defilements, in this moment we go back to a little bit remembering that we still have our defilements and so on. So we keep the appearance as a Buddha, but we loosen for one moment, we loosen a little bit the identity as a Buddha. We loosen the, the pride, the identity as a Buddha. So we remember about our defilements and we purify them. Okay. Actually, this method, it's useful for us to gradually to develop a better identity. So what we do is that we purify the negativities through this great bliss and emptiness. Actually, we imagine that through the bell empowerment, we experience a great sensation of bliss and emptiness, and this bliss and emptiness is actually going to purify our negativities. Okay? So what do we purify? We purify our fears. We purify our jealousy. Purify our envy, and then all the sicknesses related to our secret chakra. So basically, fear is also the inability to do things when we get blocked between something, and then all sorts of fear. We can, from the fear of not being recognized and the fear of being judged to the fear of death, to all sorts of fears that we have. Okay? It's important for us to remember our fears, to remember our own sensation of fear, to remember our own jealousy and envy. So what we purify is not the object of jealousy, the object of envy. It's the sensation that we have within us. Okay? And then, as we do this, first we do the mudra, the Garuda mudra. And as we do the Garuda mudra, we imagine that we receive the bell empowerment, and with light and nectar, green in color coming from Buddha Amoghasiddhi. And then we purify the negativities. So this sensation of bliss fills our body. And then we purify our fears and sickness, jealousy, and envy. Okay? The purification of the negativities happens through the symbol of an animal. The symbol of the animal is not because we have some problems, we don't like the animals, okay? Because sometimes people taught this. But it's actually because we are using the animal, because each animal has positive qualities and negative qualities, as everything. So the negative qualities, we are using these qualities to symbolize our own negativities. Because if I just say purify jealousy and envy and fear, we have no form to give to it. So in the moment we do it in the form of the Garuda is the king of the birds. And the moment that the Garuda is the king of all birds, actually the Garuda is full of fear and jealousy and envy at the same time. Also, why? Because the Garuda has the fear of someone taking his place. So even though he's the king, he would have no need to be afraid. But because he's afraid someone else may take his place, there is always fear of what others may be doing. So in this way, whenever he sees someone with some quality, he is afraid that they will take his place. So he's envy of what the qualities, he's jealous of anything anyone that has anything around him, because he's afraid of losing his position. Okay? So we take this quality, this aspect of the Garuda, and it's very interesting, this symbol, because it shows so well the aspect of jealousy and envy and fear, because basically the Garuda has everything. He's already the king. But he cannot experience with joy this situation because he's afraid of losing it. And if we look very often, when we are jealous and so on, what it makes basically is that we are not able to experience well what we have, to rejoice of what we are and of what we have, because we have fear of losing or of not gaining. Okay? So one of the things that can help also in this part of the practice is for us to reflect upon our own defilements, to know them a little bit better, to understand how they function, so that when I take out the fear and the jealousy and the envy, I imagine that I take it from its roots, deep, deep. We can breathe out from the mouth or from the nose. Okay. Personally, when I do the practice alone, I prefer to do it through the nose. But it's normally, when doing with other people, we normally show through the mouth, basically, because it's more strong, the feeling of throwing away with exhaling with the mouth. But we can do both. So, because basically, for me, what happens is that when doing the whole practice, we are having awareness of the breath since the beginning of the practice, and we are breathing always through the nose. So it becomes a little bit strange, then start to exhale it from the mouth. So we can do it all from the nose also, no problem. So it's important for us to concentrate on the negativities, and we throw them completely away. Okay? In this moment, we should have the sensation that we are totally free from that defilement. It doesn't matter if we still have it or not. We just imagine, we feel that we are completely free, and it's like some heaviness that is taken away. It's like if there is some tension that is completely gone away. Okay? So here there is the whole part which refers also to the different sicknesses related to each one of the chakras, which I never remember them by heart, which are the sicknesses and so on. But we all have the book of self-healing. We can look inside. It's all well described in there. And then if we have a specific sickness, we can concentrate more on that part of the practice also. And when we talk about purifying our sicknesses, it's basically we should concentrate on eliminating the energy blocks that are connected to that sickness. Okay, so it's like purifying the body in a more subtle level so that it can manifest in a more gross level. That's the objective that we do. So, in this moment, we purify. We can do it in different ways, the mudras. Or we do that each mental defilement, each negativity we imagine, we exhale once. or we can imagine that we gather all negativities together, and then at once we send them away. Okay? It depends for the moment, how fast we do the practice. For some people, maybe we may feel more comfortable that we gather all the negativities and we take all of them at once and then we throw all the negativities away. Okay? Important thing is, as I said before, what is purifying is through the great bliss and emptiness that we experience, this is what is purifying the negativities. Okay? Then, once we do the elimination, and also we purify especially our aggregate. So in the secret chakra with Amoghasiddhi, we purify the aggregate of compositional factors. Okay? And then we also purify the wisdom of the bases, the all-realizing wisdom. So as we purify this, we receive all the blessings as we inhale. And we imagine the light and nectar coming from Buddha Amoghasiddhi at the secret chakra of Guru Buddha in front of us. The light and nectar fills completely the whole of our body. And in this moment, we imagine that through the blessings that we receive, our own qualities are totally revitalized. So we concentrate in Buddha Amoghasiddhi at our secret chakra. And then when we concentrate in Buddha Amoghasiddhi, the meaning that it has to us, the feeling that we have, is that we have fully developed the power of realization, the capacity to rejoice. Because in order to be able to rejoice of the happiness of others, we need to be able not to feel jealous or envy. It's the antidote, actually. The antidote to jealousy and envy is rejoicing for the happiness of others, rejoicing for the virtuous actions of others, rejoicing of the good things that others have. So, remembering that if someone else has something good, this doesn't mean that we need to have something less. It's like, okay?
Yeah, I have one question about, in the self-healing DVD, it also says that you throw out through your hands. Does it mean like that the energies, the impulsions follow through the subtle channels like this, something? Or?
Not necessarily. It's a way to help us to imagine, no? So it's like if we take all the negativities and then, it's because the mudras are helping us to imagine that all the negativities are going out. Okay? Basically, it's this. So it's coming from the secret chakra. And then imagine really like going from the hands, and then all the black garudas, smoke and dirt, dark green garudas, smoke and dirt are going. When we put the negativities out, they dissolve into space. Okay? Don't worry like they get to the person nearby you. Like maybe you have someone on the front, so you do like this because you don't want to go there. I saw people worrying about this already, okay? So don't need to worry about any of that, okay? It's basically... Basically, it's the fact that we imagine that it dissolves into space completely. Okay? It completely dissolves into space. As I imagine sometimes there are some types of viruses that as they enter in contact with space, they die. No? So it's like if we have some sort of negativity, as we throw out, they dissolve. It's not something that remains somewhere, they're stuck in the space, okay? Imagine something that it's inside of us is very dense, but as soon as it gets out, it dissolves into space. Okay? And then, so we imagine it in the form of this dirt and smoke. Why we put it in the form of dirt and smoke? And because it's representing something negative. Okay? There are practices where you can also visualize in the form of like some animals like scorpions and spiders and things like this also. Okay? Basically, is because, why? Because scorpions and spiders, they have poison. So it's representing the negativity, it's representing our inner poison, our inner defilements. Okay? Actually, the name of scorpion in Tibetan is Dikpa Ranya. Ranya means it's also more or less the name that is given to sort of spiders. Dikpa means negativity. It's the same word that is given also to all negative actions. Okay? So, why? Because it's an animal that has very, very strong poison. And our negativities has very strong poison. It can destroy our happiness, our joy. So this is also this connection. So very often, like when we do the fire puja of Vajradaka, we visualize that our negativities are being purified in the form of scorpions they represent. But the meaning of this is basically that the scorpion has very strong poison. The poison can destroy, can kill very quickly, can harm a lot with very little. Similar to that, our negative actions can destroy our happiness, can destroy our joy, can destroy our stability. With very little, they can destroy a lot. So this is to make this understanding also. Okay? So the difficulty that we have sometimes that originally these symbols were made to make people understand things and they could understand the symbols. Nowadays, we don't understand symbols so much anymore. Okay? So we put the negativities out in the form of the smoke and dirt and the dark green garudas. They dissolve completely into space. And then, as we inhale, we receive all the blessings from Supreme Healer Guru Buddha Moga Siddhi in the form of green light and nectar. It fills our body completely. We feel this great joy as it fills the body. And we concentrate, as we concentrate in Buddha Moga Siddhi in our secret chakra, we concentrate in the qualities that Buddha Moga Siddhi represents. Okay? So it is the power of realization. The power of realization somehow is the ability to do things. It's like I think most of us, we have experienced already. There are moments in life and situations in which it doesn't matter what problem we may have, we have trust that we can deal with it. Yes, it's okay. And then there can be situations or moments in which whatever happened, we are afraid of doing anything. Okay, this is the two opposite. Okay. The power of realization doesn't mean that we can do anything. It means the certainty that we can deal with any situation. It's not having fear. It's the ability to connect with the solution, not with the problem. It's the ability to find solution for situations, to put our energy into what needs to be done, or what can be realized, and not getting stuck into situations. It's the power of realization. Then we have rejoicing, that to be happy for the happiness of others, which is a very important quality. I think if we learn how to cultivate rejoicing, this joy for the happiness of others, this is really something that can give us really a lot of joy and help us to deal with a lot of difficulties that we have. And then I think a person that knows how to rejoice is mostly happy. A person that knows how to rejoice is most of the time happy. Because if we know how to rejoice of what we have, we are happy with what we have. And then, because rejoicing also goes together with being grateful. And to feel grateful, it's so important, because when we are grateful for something, it means that we have something. When we don't know how to be grateful, it means that we don't have enough. It means that something is missing there. Okay? So these are two qualities that are very important for us, because basically satisfaction and joy, it does not depend on how much we have. It depends on how satisfied we are and how grateful we are, how much we can rejoice of what we have. Otherwise, I can have more, and it's never enough. Okay? So this is something that we can see mostly with everything. Everything that is pleasurable, that is good, that we like. Let's say I am thirsty, I start drinking water. First, I can never get water, so the little water I get, I'm very happy. Then start to get more and more water, then it's more not enough, then I need more water, then the same water is not making me as happy as before. And like this, we take it for granted. And as we take it for granted, we don't give more value to it. Even if we take the example of water, I was like this last time I was in Brazil, it's a problem that we still have now in São Paulo, a city of almost 20 million people. We are out of water. Like they were saying that by the end of this year, we should have 4 days without water in a week on the city. So now, for example, having a shower, it means open the water, 1 second, close the water, pass the soap, open again, and close again. That's what people are doing. Everybody recycling water and taking a lot of care of this. Anyhow, the point is that now people are seeing how precious water is. Before, it was, they even write in the newspapers and make some jokes about it and saying, Brazilians in this area of Brazil like very much to have long showers. So shower used to be the moment of reflection and enjoying, and at least 2 showers a day. Now, no, not more possible. But before it was taken for granted that water was there. Now there is no more water. So when there is water, people start to feel more happy when they have water, because now they are used not to have water. Okay? So for example, when they go to another city, and this place they have no problem of water, they can have a nice shower, no hurry, then they say, and then the water is nice, because the water of the city now is terrible, because they are taking water from the lowest part of the water reserve, which all the heavy metals are there, and so on. So the water is full of chemical, it's terrible. So now people know how to enjoy more and how to value more the other. Why? Because they are missing, no? We even have a saying, we only know how to value things once we miss them, no? So in order for that not to happen, what we need to do? Rejoice. Remember, oh, how precious I have this. It's like, I always remember some years ago I had a diagnosis of a problem in my eyes, which is a sickness called ceratocone, I think it's called in English, I don't know. It's on the cornea, that it's a little bit more soft than normally, so it goes down in the form of a cone, basically. But there are many levels of this. So when I got the diagnosis, and which was somehow by chance, and then I started thinking, okay, then I talked to the doctor, and the doctor said, okay, what can happen? It can degenerate. Is there anyone in your family that ever had it? Actually, yes. My auntie had it. She needs to do transplant of the cornea at least 3 times. She has very difficult situation, and so on. So I was starting to think, and I just somehow enjoy imagining what would happen if I lose my eyesight. No? And then I was thinking about it and imagining my life. And then the very nice thing of it is that then you start opening the eyes and saying, oh, how wonderful I can see. No? Then, just for information, this diagnosis is very stable, because the doctor said it can be stable for 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, or it can degenerate quickly. In my case, it's perfectly stable, so no problem at all. But still, the point is that in the moment that we bring forward the true possibility of not seeing, we start to value the eyesight that we have. The moment that we bring forward the true possibility of not walking, we start to see, oh, how nice when I stand up in the morning. So, like this, we can go on. So, it's really in the moment that we know how to rejoice, we know how to value the things that we have. Life is beautiful. We have so many good things. We can enjoy them so much. We start to suffer more. We start to get insatisfied when, oh, but if I had more and I don't have, so what I have is not enough, because it's always a matter of comparison also. So it's a matter of reference. I compare with the one that has more than me, so I have less. I compare with the possibility of having more, so it means I have less. So instead, if we need to compare with someone, why we don't compare with the one that have less? Then we have more and we are happy, no? Okay. So, but this is a mental habit that we can change this mental habit. So in Buddha Moga Siddhi, when we develop this rejoicing ability, is also the ability of being, okay, how good of what I have. It's not of being, it's more than being satisfied. It's being happy for what we have. It's being happy for others. And then it's really, how to say, sometimes I met some people that I think they had this quality very developed. And you could see they were always thankful to everyone. They're always happy with everything. Even in the most difficult situations, they always find a good part of it, and they are happy to, always grateful to others, and happy, and they can really be happy for the happiness of others. It's a very great quality. You know? A person that has this quality is happy in all situations. This doesn't mean the person don't have any suffering. This doesn't mean the person don't have any difficulty. But it's much, much easier than when we are insatisfied and when we are constantly with jealousy and envy and looking at others and so on. Okay? So when we have Buddha Amoga Siddhi in our secret chakra, fully developed, we do the mudra of no fear. We recite the mantra Om Amoga Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum, body, speech, and mind. Amoga Siddhi is Buddha Amoga Siddhi. So it means developing the body, speech, and mind of Amoga Siddhi, becoming one and inseparable with Amoga Siddhi, having the fully developed qualities of Amoga Siddhi. So as we do that, we imagine that these qualities are fully developed in us. So we feel like overwhelmed by this capacity of realization, by this great joy for the happiness of others and our own positive things. And then we have also at the same time, we developed fully the all-realizing wisdom, which means to have certainty in every action we do, no more doubts in anything. And we have the aggregate of composition of factors, which making it simple is somehow our personality, totally pure. Okay? So this is as we do the mudra, we imagine this, and as we visualize Buddha Moga Siddhi in our secret chakra, there is the Buddha Moga Siddhi in the front of us, in the chakra of Guru Buddha, from which light, green light and nectar is coming, and we concentrate in Buddha Moga Siddhi at our secret chakra. There is also the possibility at this moment of the practice of visualizing oneself as each one of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas at each one of the 5 initiations, okay? But now, we just keep it a little bit more simple. We visualize Buddha Moga Siddhi at our chakra, okay? At the same time, in order for us to be able to keep the qualities and the blessings of Amoga Siddhi, we need to keep samayas. Samaya means commitment. So there are some commitments that we need to do. It's like Buddha Moga Siddhi bless us, revitalize our qualities. Say, do we want to keep these qualities? Yes. So there is something that you need to do. Commitment that we need to keep. And then here we have the samayas, or the commitments of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Okay? Someone have the little booklet of self-feeling, just to be sure that I don't lose any part of it. Yeah, this one. Perfect. It's in Dutch or in English? Aha, that's difficult. No, this I cannot understand much. Have the one in English? Okay, yeah, this one, yeah, that's okay. Okay. I can deduce something, but... One second. Yeah. So we start with Buddha Moga Siddhi. The reason why we start with Buddha Moga Siddhi is because we are following the body mandala. Okay. If we follow the external mandala, normally we would start with Buddha Akshobhya on the east side. Okay. But because we are following the body mandala, we start with Buddha Moga Siddhi. So, if we read the text on self-healing number 2, it's just as we have said, no? New bliss and emptiness arise, purifying our pride, mind. No, sorry, this is Ratnasambhava. Bell empowerment of Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Lama Tunyo Dorje. New bliss and emptiness arises, purifying our jealousy, fear, competitiveness, aggregate of composition of factors, and Asura realm. So the new bliss and emptiness heals our secret chakra, okay? And then here we have all the different sicknesses that are purified, and the samayas that we generate. This is an important part, because the samaya is not when we do the practice only. The samaya, we need to keep it during the whole day, okay? During our life, we need to keep the commitments. And the commitments are making as many as possible outer, inner, secret, and emptiness offerings. Okay? So basically is the Samayas of Buddha Amoghasiddhi is making offerings, is giving, making offerings to the holy beings, making offerings to the sentient beings, but mostly it's like making offerings to the Guru and to all the holy beings. And here we have outer, inner, secret, and emptiness offerings. Outer offerings is the objects of pleasure of the five senses. Inner offerings is offering our body and mind in a pure state. Secret offering is offering the union of great bliss and emptiness. And then we have voidness offering or offering of emptiness. It means offering our own realization of the true nature of reality. Okay? So this is basically, in very, very few words, what we do. And the other samaya of Buddha Amoghasiddhi is the commitment to keep the commitments of all other Dhyani Buddhas. Okay? Because normally, if we do according to the mandala, sometimes Amoghasiddhi comes as the last one also. So then we have all done all the others, and okay, then now it's in the north, and also we have gone around already. So, and then, okay, now the last commitment, you keep the commitments of all the other ones also. But if we do in the first also, it has no problem. It's also, we have the commitment, so not only to make offerings, but the commitment to keep the commitment of all the other Buddhas. So if we break a commitment or we don't keep a commitment of Buddha Ratnasambhava, we're also not keeping the commitment of Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Okay? So somehow, what does that mean? It means the commitment to keep commitments, which is quite important, because keeping commitment is something very, very precious and necessary in our life. One of the points about this also is that if we are able to keep our commitments in our daily lives, then we are able to keep our commitments with the Guru and with the Buddhas and everything else. If we are not able to keep commitments in our daily life, then how can we keep commitments with the Guru? It's not going to work. So to keep commitments, it also means to respect our words. When I say, yes, I will do, it means, yes, I will do. When I say no, it means no. If conditions change, I can change also. I say, sorry, first I said yes, now it's not possible anymore. But because conditions changed. But when I make a commitment, I should really follow it. And sometimes I feel that in modern times, each time more and more people value less and less their own commitments. I don't know, I hope not to be wrong, but I hope that I'm wrong, but actually, you share the same thing, more or less, or no? No? So that's why more and more we need paper to be signed, and still, you need to check what's the legal value of that paper, because if there is no legal value, it means nothing that it was signed. So it's like we do not trust anymore others, but we don't trust even ourselves in the sense that we make a commitment, but it doesn't have much value to ourselves even. Okay? So one thing that we can do is like to start respecting our commitment, which means keeping our commitments in the small daily things. And this makes a big difference. When we say something, we do it. We keep it. And then, so don't take commitments that we cannot keep, and then try to keep it in the daily life. Because the things that we are not able to do in our daily life, then we cannot do also in the spiritual path. If I am not able to be grateful to my parents or to whoever does something positive to me in my daily life, how can I be grateful to the Guru? It's difficult. If I am not able to, if I in my daily life am constantly judging others and criticizing and looking for faults, I will do the same in my spiritual path also. So how we behave in our daily life, which is between sessions, is very, very important also. Okay? So the commitment of Buddha Mogassiddhi is to make offerings and to keep our own commitments. Okay?
Wisdom of the basis you were mentioning, is this all these inside of the qualities of Mogassiddhi?
The wisdom of the basis is the all-realizing wisdom, precisely, which is basically our ability to know what we want to do. So it's the mind, and it's the aspect of our mind which says, okay, I want to stand up, I want to sit, I want to eat, I want to sleep, I do this, I do that, and so on. But which now is not we don't have the all-realizing wisdom, we have the little realizing wisdom, no? It's like we have doubts and we don't know really what's the best for ourselves and others, okay? So this is the main point. Then, once we have actually done this part, we do the mudra of Buddha Amoghasiddhi, no? No fear mudra, and then we recite the mantra Om Amoghasiddhi Hum. At this part of the practice, there is one other point that we can add to it, which personally I like very much, which is, first we recite 5 times, and when we recite the mantra and we do the mudra, we concentrate on Buddha Mogassiddhi at our secret chakra, or we are visualizing ourselves as Buddha Mogassiddhi. But normally, let's say we concentrate on Buddha Mogassiddhi at our secret chakra, and we concentrate on the qualities that we have developed. Then, after that, we do the mantra 1 time, 5 times. It depends how many times we can do it in minimum 1 time, maximum as many as we like. But normally we do 5 times. And then after that, we can continue reciting the mantra. We can even take the mala and do, for example, 1 mala of Om Amoghasiddhi Hum. We don't need to do the mudra at that moment. We just sit and do Amoghasiddhi Hum, Amoghasiddhi Hum, Amoghasiddhi Hum, Amoghasiddhi Hum, Amoghasiddhi Hum, Amoghasiddhi Hum. As we do the mantra, we visualize that from Buddha Amoghasiddhi at our secret chakra, many, many emanations go out. Okay? And they go out from they are in the secret chakra, they go up through the central channel. They get out from the right channel. All the emanations of Buddha Mogassiddhi's light and nectar go out from our right nostril. It goes through all sentient beings, especially those mostly afflicted by fear, jealousy, and envy. So it touches the heart of every sentient being. It guides them through the path to enlightenment, eliminates their suffering, and all the sentient beings, they reach the state of Buddha Amoghasiddhi, and in the form of Amoghasiddhi and Samayatara. Okay? So in the male and female form. And then we have all the sentient beings in the form of Buddha, Amoghasiddhi, and Samayatara. And as they reach that state, they recite together with us the mantra Om Amoghasiddhi Hum. So imagine that they are reciting together with us the mantra. And then the emanations come back, reabsorb back into us from our left nostril, left channel, go in and go back to the secret chakra, reabsorbing back into Buddha Mogassiddhi. Okay? We can make a cycle. Some are going out and some are coming in. Or we can make it alternatively. I exhale, they go out. I inhale, they come in. Or I can do all at once. First, all the emanations go, and then after, they all come back. 3 ways is possible. And this is also when we can do, for example, 1,000 mantras of each Buddha. We can do as many as we like, also as we do a retreat. And this is one of the visualizations that we can do. Okay? So indeed, when we do this visualization, we're also training ourselves to develop great love and compassion towards others. And at the same time, we're also simulating the sacred activities of a Buddha, the actions of a Buddha, the enlightened actions, which is that to go and to help everyone. How we can help others? By interacting with them in a positive way. We are not eliminating the suffering. The emanations of Buddha are going, as we said yesterday, manifesting as whatever the beings need, giving them certainty, security, happiness, and then they receive the Dharma, and then they develop renunciation, and then they enter into the path of accumulation, then they develop correct view of reality. With bodhicitta, they go into the path of accumulation, of preparation, the path of seeing, they get out of suffering, then they go to the path of meditation, they eliminate the imprints of ignorance, and then go to the path of no more learning, they reach enlightenment. Then the Buddha Moghasiddhas have finished their job, they come back and reabsorb back into our own secret chakra. In this case, we do it to the sentient beings. Okay, we concentrate that we are helping all sentient beings. Okay? And when we do that, we concentrate like mostly, we say, go to all sentient beings, but mostly, specifically, we put emphasis in those that are mostly afflicted by fear, jealousy, and envy. Okay? For me, one of the ways of doing, if we do a retreat, if we do longer, one of the nice ways to do is like we divide, when we do a Buddha Moghasiddhi, we divide the number of mantras that we do with the 6 realms of existence, for example. So let's say if I do 6 malas, I do 1 mala for the hell realm, 1 mala for the animal realm, 1 mala for the hungry ghosts, 1 mala for the human realm, 1 mala for the god realms, and 1 lama for the semi-god realms. Okay? And then, or we can do 20, 20, 20. I don't know, we can divide as many as we like, but, or because in the moment that we divide, then we can put more emphasis in the visualization. We see what type of fear they have, what type of jealousy and envy, and we imagine each one of them going. If we like, at this moment, we can also put emphasis on a specific person. If there is someone that is sick, someone that we know that is in a moment of fear, or jealousy, or envy, or has any sicknesses that is specifically related to the secret chakra or not, also, it's okay. So we can specifically visualize that person also as we do this visualization, okay? Yeah? Normally, you can also do the form realm and the formless realm, but the point of the formless realm is that in the formless realm there is no form, so there is no light, there is no way of how to reach there in this sense. No? But you can do. Actually, the form realm and the formless realm are part of the God realm. When we do the realm of the gods, they are inside of it. So normally when we say the 6 realms of existence, the form realm and the formless are part of the realm of the gods. Just to explain, when we say about the form realm and the formless realm, it's said that our existence is divided into 3 parts. It's to divide it into, we call the formless realm, the form realm, and the realm of desire. Okay? So we are in the realm of desire, where mostly we are very much attached by our senses in a very gross way, where in the form realm, in the desire realm, we also have gross suffering. Then, in the form realm, is a state more subtle of existence, where there is no sensation of pleasure or suffering. It's a sort of a neutral state, but where still there is form. So there is appearance, there is colors and shapes and so on and so on. The 5 senses are present, okay? But in the form realm, there is no such thing as gross level sensations of pleasure or suffering also, okay? And then there is the formless realm. The formless realm is said to be a great part. It's said that the form realm and the formless realm is a big part of our existence also. It's possible to be reborn in these states. But the formless realm is a state of existence where it's only very subtle and there is no any sort of senses. There is no any of the 5 senses. There is no any perception of anything external. And then it is a very neutral state. And it's possible, and it's said that the lifespan at the form realm and the formless realm is extremely long. So it's like getting frozen for I don't know how long, It's like getting stuck into a state in a neutral state for a very, very long time. That is it's called the formless realm. And it is possible in our own human body to experience the state of mind of the form realm and also of the formless realm. There are some types of meditation that they bring the person, the meditator, to experience the state of this more subtle state, in which the meditator is completely out of contact with the five senses, and he enters into a neutral state. And this can go even deeper, where there is totally no pleasure, no suffering, but no sensation somehow. It's a neutral sensation, constant neutral sensation. This is possible. And that's why it's also said that if a person meditates a lot on nothingness, not emptiness, nothingness, it becomes a cause to be reborn in the formless realm. The person gets so familiarized with this concept that nothing exists, of the total nothingness, that by that it's like directing the mind to be reborn in the formless realm. The problem of being reborn in the formless realm is that we get stuck for such a long time. That's all, because there is no suffering there, but no pleasure also. It's like somehow falling in a deep sleep that can take like ages and ages and ages. Okay? So this is just, and the form realm and the formless realm are part of what is called the God realm, in the 6 realms of existence. Okay? So, as we do the visualization, we visualize that the emanations go to all forms of life. Okay, it goes to the bacteria, it goes to the animals, to the viruses, it goes everywhere. Like all forms of life that it may be, it goes everywhere and then come back and reabsorb into us. This just made me remember one thing. There is one prayer, which is from the Bodhisattva Acharya Avatara. It's a prayer that is done for the sick people, in which it says, let me see if I remember the prayer. I know it by heart, but sometimes you need to remember the first word. No, that's not the right one. Okay, it doesn't come to my mind now, but no problem. The meaning is, there's this prayer in which you say, may all bacteria have compassion to the person. No? It's like, make all bacteria be satisfied and have compassion of the person. Okay? So there is given a big emphasis also of all the life that lives within our body. And then we need to have a good relation with these other forms of life that are inside of us. And then they are also living beings. So there is also some sort of feeling and emotion in between us somehow. Okay? Anyhow, this was just some brackets in between. So we imagine also all forms of life. So all forms of life, this light goes and it's purifying their negativities, bringing them to a state of bliss. So we have love and compassion towards all of them. Okay? And then it comes back and reabsorb into our chakra. Okay? In this case, the secret chakra. So this is more or less, let's say, what we do when we make the 5 empowerments. We start with Buddha Moga Siddhi, the bell empowerment. So we visualize Buddha Moga Siddhi in front of us in the secret chakra of Guru Buddha. It's like we focus in Buddha Moga Siddhi, light and nectar coming. If we listen to the sound of the bell playing, there are many ornaments such as bell that absorb into us. Then we receive this bell empowerment through which we experience a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness. If we do the practice with the idea of having the perfect divine pride, we don't do the purification of the negativity. We go directly to visualizing Buddha Moga Siddhi, and then the emanations of the Buddhas then go and come back. Okay? But as we are mostly beginners, what we do is that we purify our negativities, and then we concentrate on the quality. And then after we purify the negativities, then we go back to the divine pride. It's like, it's said in Tibetan, nawa yeba dang nagya chungsel heba. Nagya chungsel heba means to let go slightly the pride. Pride means the identity. I am a Buddha. We let it go a little bit. We keep the appearance as the Buddha, but we let go a little bit the identity. So appears again the fear and our own jealousy, our own defilements, and we purify again. And then we go back to the pure identity once again. I am a Buddha. I have the full qualities of Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Okay? Bene. So after this, we go to the navel chakra, Buddha Ratna Sambhava. And as we go to Buddha Ratna Sambhava, we do the, one more thing also. When in Buddha Amoghasiddhi, we concentrate on purifying and developing completely pure the aggregative composition of factors. It's also an important part, okay? The aggregative composition of factors, as we said yesterday, it's the 49 mental factors left, because there are 51. Then there is sensation and then discerning. So we have left 49, but it's basically the aspects of our mind. The mental factors, the composition of factors is the aspects that compose our thoughts and emotions, our mind, which is basically, let's call our personality, okay? Yes?
When there's one thing with the visualization is we are filled with nectar and light.
Mm-hmm.
In that point, should I imagine or visualize that my whole body is filled with green light and nectar and I'm in the form of Amoghasiddhi? Or is it in the channel where
we visualize that the whole body fills up, okay? But then it's possible to visualize ourselves as Amoghasiddhi, but now we are giving, like, let's say, a middle way of doing the practice, not too much into details somehow. Not as a matter of details. There are different ways how we can do here. One way is that at each one of the Dhyani Buddhas, we visualize ourselves as the Dhyani Buddha self, but then it's a little bit different from the beginning also. In this case, we are concentrating on each one of our chakras. So what happens is that the light and nectar comes, it fills the whole of our body, it absorbs. We imagine like each one of the poruses of our body, every atom of our body absorbs this light. And then we concentrate on Buddha Amoghasiddhi at our sacred chakra. It's like even if our attention go there, it's even possible to visualize that like we enter inside Buddha Amoghasiddhi, so we become Buddha Amoghasiddhi because we are inside Buddha Amoghasiddhi that is at our sacred chakra. Then from there we emanate many Buddhas going out, and then it goes out through the right channel, and it goes to all the Buddhas. But we can imagine that we are like inside, we are Buddha Amoghasiddhi at our sacred chakra. Okay? And there are many ways how we can do the practice. This is also another thing that is important for us to know. It's not something like, okay, you can only do in this way. There is some flexibility in between. Okay? Well, then we go to Buddha Ratna Sambhava, navel chakra, as we do Lama Rinchun Dorje Kyen. Lama is Guru, Rinchun Dorje Ratna Sambhava. We always do Lama Rinchun Dorje, Lama Tunyun Dorje, Lama Mikyo Dorje to remember that we are making the request to Buddha Ratna Sambhava, which is inseparable of our Guru and all Buddhas in front of us. That's why we make Lama Rinchun Dorje Kyen. So please, Guru Buddha Ratna Sambhava, you who, the all-knowing one, please bless me. So as we do Lama Rinchun Dorje Kyen, we do the Garuda Mudra. We imagine that we receive the crown empowerment. The crown empowerment, it is basically that it is this crown that many of the Buddhas are wearing. It is made of 5 parts, which symbolizes the 5 wisdoms of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Okay? So what we imagine that, one crown is coming and absorbing into us, or the crown is put on our head. Maybe some of you have already seen, like when it's done, like a self-initiation. It's also done that, like Yamantaka or Vajrayana self-initiation and so on. And then the practitioner is wearing all these uncomfortable clothes. And for me, I don't know why, but since I was a small kid, whenever I wear this, it has so much headache. So normally I try not to wear it. But it's like this fake wig. Okay, it's fake hair. It's a wig, basically. okay? With the fake hair, it goes up like this with a dodge in the top. I think some of you have seen it, no? So basically what is that? It's because you're supposed to visualize yourself as the deity, and the deity have long hair, and the hair is with knots on top, and then there is the brocade clothes and so on. And then there is the moment when, first when there is a Moga Siddhi initiation, normally you put back the bell, and then you take the bell as if you were receiving it. So first you take it in the right hand, and then you take grief to the left hand as if you're receiving the bell. When you have, and then you are, from the beginning you are not wearing the crown. You just wear the crown at the moment of Radha Sambhava empowerment. That's when you come and you put the crown, which means you are receiving it. Okay? So, this is the same thing that we do here. We don't need to wear all these strange clothes, which is called the Tantric ornaments are called normally. But basically, most of you have already long hair and so on, so we don't need to put a wig. And what happened is that basically is to remember us that we need to see ourselves as a deity, okay, as the Buddha. So, on that, we visualize that we receive a crown, or it absorbs into us, or it's put on our head, or we touch it, and by that, and by seeing the crown, by receiving it, by seeing this beautiful symbol, it generates on us a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness that purifies all our sicknesses and negativities related to the navel chakra. All this purification is done in the form of dark yellow horses, smoke and dirt. It's done in the form of horses because the horse has many qualities, but it also is an animal that has a lot of pride. And so we are taking this aspect of the horse, of pride, to purify the negativities. So purify our own pride. Pride in the sense means not, there is a self, how to say, not self-esteem, the word in English, sorry. No. Yeah, I think it's self-esteem, the word in English. Esteem. No, to recognize one's own qualities, to know that I'm able to do. This is positive. Okay? What we are supposed to eliminate here is the arrogance, the sense of superiority. It's looking to someone else and say, I am better than you because I am more humble than you. It's looking to others and saying, oh, I am better than you because, I don't care for my appearance and you are all tidy and taking care of your appearance, so I am better than you. I am better than you because I am more beautiful, or I am better than you because... I'm making these examples because one of the worst types of arrogance is the spiritual arrogance. It's when we feel that we are superior to someone, when we recognize how preciousness that we have and qualities that we have, that's okay. The problem is when we feel superior to others based on the fact I am spiritual, you are material. You are such a materialistic person. And I saw this in my mind. Many years ago, I was in Nepal. And then I was in a restaurant. I was 14 or 15, something like this. And then I was in this restaurant, it's called Fire and Ice, a pizzeria. And then I was there outside having lunch. And then, as I was having lunch, there was two businessmen. I think one was like Japanese, the other Westerner. And it was not so common in Nepal to see these people wear with the whole jacket and the tie and very well dressed like businessmen. And then I was looking at them, and at some point in my mind came some sort of arrogance as looking at them and saying, oh, look, poor people, no spirituality, Some sort of superiority feeling there coming like this. And then there was a bee that was going around. And the bee passed by me, and I was afraid of the bee. And then the bee passed by them too, and they were perfectly still. They were not moving half a centimeter as the bee was passing, and they were just continue still. And then I looked at it, and this condition made me to understand the arrogance that I was having. And to say, who am I to judge who is there, you know? Have no idea at all about it, really, no? So it was a very important experience in a way, because arrogance is something very difficult to deal with because it's very subtle. No? He said there is one saying which is, humbleness is one of the most difficult qualities to develop because in the moment you think you are humble, you are not humble anymore. No, because you already feel, oh, I am humble, I'm better than you. Okay? In the sense that the definition of arrogance is when we feel superior to someone else based on something that we believe to have that is better than them. Okay? And it can go in many different ways. I can feel superior than you because I am more beautiful, because I am more rich, because I am more intelligent, because I am more spiritual, or I can even feel I am better than you because I am more ugly. Because I say, oh, you know, you only think about your appearance. Huh? Look at these people, they are all tight and taking care only of their appearance. They don't have essence. You know? Yeah, there are so many ways how we can feel superior to others. Okay? So this is what we purify, the sense of superiority, and then miserliness. Miserliness, it comes from the feeling of not having, of not possessing. And we are afraid of losing what we have at the same time, and so we don't share. It's the inability of sharing with others. It's a very selfish thing. It's sharing with others what? Time, body, money, material things, intellectual things. It's like spiritual miserliness, for example. One time I was with a person, many years ago also, and then he came to me and he started explaining to me some things that he understood. According to Dharma also, it was. And he was saying, oh, you know, it took me such a long time to understand these things and so on. I said, oh, very good, very nice. And he said, oh, but I don't tell to people normally, huh? It took so much time for me, they should at least do the same job, no? So this is what? Spiritual miserliness, okay? For me, I really enjoy so much when I'm able to put in a simple way something that took a long time for me to understand. But the point is that we need to, when we talk about miserliness, it's the inability to share, to give. It's not only material. It's also affection. It's also time, money, all of this together, okay? And we do it in the form of a horse, a dark yellow horse. When I was a kid, I used to ride a lot horses. And something I have seen also is when there are competitions with the horse, like, how do you say in English, obstacle, overcoming this competition, no? And then it's a very formal and so on. When the horse makes a mistake, what's the punishment that is given to the horse? They force the horse to lower the head in front of everyone. And this is the most difficult thing for the horse. Okay? So the horse is an animal that it has his own pride. So in the moment that he needs to lower the head in front of others, that's some difficult for him. Okay? So we are using this aspect of the horse. For example, the horse also means the quality of increasing. So in other contexts, the horse has other meaning, very positive meaning also, like Rinpoche loves horses and images of horses. But in this specific case, we use one aspect of the horse to purify our pride, our arrogance, and our miserliness. Okay? Also, sometimes when when you give food to the horse, this I don't think has nothing to do with miserliness. It's basically how his mouth is done, but it's made. But when you give, you cannot give like this, otherwise it eats your finger together. You need to open the hand completely, no? So it's like there is also this sense of taking all. So when we have this miserliness, like not sharing somehow, no? Anyhow, the important thing is that we imagine that all our arrogance, our miserliness is completely purified. Our aggregate of sensation is also purified. And also the wisdom of equanimity is purified. Okay? Then by that we receive all the blessings of Supreme Healer Amurga Siddhi in the form of yellow light and nectar. It fills our body. We concentrate on Buddha Ratna Sambhava in the form of yellow and light and nectar. It fills our body. We concentrate in Buddha Ratna Sambhava at our navel. We do the mudra of supreme generosity. And then we concentrate that we have fully developed humility. Humility is not to feel inferior to anyone, but to be secure with what we are without needing to feel superior or inferior to anyone else. And we have developed full generosity. Okay? The generosity of giving materially, the generosity of giving love, which means to feel love for others, the generosity of giving protection, which means to help to protect others from suffering. So for example, if there is someone that is very hungry and I give him food, I am protecting him from the suffering of hunger. If there is someone that is in a place that is very cold and is going to stay the whole night in the cold, and I give him a coat or I bring him to a warm place, I am protecting him from the suffering of the cold. So this is the generosity of giving protection. And then if there is a person that is sick and I give him a medicine and I help the person to overcome and to avoid suffering, it's a protection. It's a generosity of giving protection and protecting against suffering. Then there is the generosity and of giving the Dharma, which is the spiritual aspect, the spiritual path. Generosities can go together. Huh? There can be a generosity that is material, and at the same time is also generosity of giving protection. And there can be love together also. You know, like it's not like one is not excluding the other. Okay? As we do this, we have the commitments of Buddha Ratna Sambhava. And the commitments of Buddha Ratna Sambhava is actually the commitments of Buddha Ratna Sambhava is to practice generosity, the 4 types of generosity. So not only we meditate that we have developed the 4 types of generosity, but we also create the commitment that we will practice it. So in our daily life, when we finish meditating, between sessions, we need to practice generosity of giving materially, generosity of giving love, the generosity of giving protection, and the generosity of giving the Dharma. Okay? By this, we are able to keep the qualities of Buddha Ratna Sambhava. Okay? Then, again, as we do, then we can do the mantra and we visualize all the Buddha Ratna Sambhavas emanating. Buddha Ratna is our navel, so it goes from the navel inside the central channel, goes down a little bit below, where actually it's in the same height, more or less. It goes from the right channel, goes out to all sentient beings mostly afflicted by arrogance and miserliness, eliminates all the suffering. All the sentient beings reach the state of Buddha Ratna Sambhava and Lochana. And then all of them are reciting the mantra Om Ratna Sambhava Hum together with us, and then the emanations come back and reabsorb through our left nostril into Buddha Ratna Sambhava at our navel. Okay? Well, then after that, yeah, please? No, don't need to close. It's just as you visualize, going from one and coming from the other. Okay? It's said that there was some, I don't know how this is made, but it's said that some yogis, they were able to inhale from one and exhale from the other. Okay? But the point here is that we simply need to, we can imagine going from one. It's like because the objective is that we create a cycle that is, as it's going out from one, it's coming in from the other. Okay? Yeah?
At the beginning of the video, there's this beautiful crystal horse.
Uh-huh.
Can you just right there? Because it's very,
Yeah.
very clear.
Yes. I cannot tell exactly, because this is something that most probably Rinpoche chose to put in the beginning of the video, and he never gave an explanation, at least to me, of why he put the horse in the beginning of the video. The horse is a symbol of development. We have Ratna Sambhava, And Radnasambhava is also, as we said yesterday, from the 4 actions, is the action of increasing. So I think it's more connected to that. Okay, then now we go to the heart chakra, Buddha Akshobhya. Okay. In the heart chakra, we do Lama Mikyo Dorje Kyen. As we do Lama Mikyo Dorje Kyen, we concentrate on Buddha Akshobhya in the heart of Guru Buddha in front of us, blue light and nectar, and then we receive the vase empowerment. As we receive the vase empowerment, we can visualize or a vase that is given to us, or the water that is poured in our head, and it's nectar, like a water, pure water nectar that is poured on our head, and then all the negativities are completely purified, and basically by this water that we receive, we experience a sensation of great bliss and emptiness. But one thing I forgot to say before, sorry. In all the others initiations also, we receive the initiation first through the bell, but it's always the water. Water is always there. That's why I call them 6 vase initiations, 6 vase empowerments. So, first we receive by the bell, and then there are the empowering deities that come from Buddha Amoghasiddhi, Radnasambhava, Akshobhya, Amitabha, and Vairochana, and pour nectar into our crown. Okay? And as they pour this nectar, it fills our body, and then this also extends the sensation of great bliss and emptiness. Okay? So this we do at each one of them. And, okay, so this is inside of what is called the vase empowerment. In this case, it happens 2 times. First, we go directly from Buddha Akshobhya, we have the vase, and then after the empowering deities come and pour nectar on our crown, and our body is completely filled up with nectar again. Okay? So as we receive the vase empowerment, we experience a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness, and then it purifies all the negativities related to the heart chakra and all the sicknesses, and they are purified in the form of dark blue snakes, smoke, and dirt. You use the symbol of snake for different reasons. One of the reasons is that the snake is an animal that has poison, so it's a poisonous snake, and anger is a very poisonous emotion. It can destroy a lot. If we go there are many descriptions and explanations like by Nagarjuna, according to Buddha's Sutra on the Perfection of Wisdom, and then after Chandrakirti commented on it, and Lama Tsongkhapa commented on it, where it's explaining in very great details the power of destruction of anger. And when we go into it and we read it, it's quite overwhelming, it's quite shocking, it's quite disturbing somehow. Said one instant of anger is able to destroy, depending towards who we have anger. If we have anger towards someone that have a higher spiritual development than ours, one instant of anger is able to destroy 1 eon of positive energy. An eon is a quite long time. Okay? So it's a lot of positive energy accumulated, and we can destroy it with anger. But if we look in our practical experience, like a friendship, is it possible to destroy a lot of energy that we built up for years? It's possible to destroy in a moment of anger? Yes. We can do so much. Anger is able to destroy so much. And once it's destroyed, it's very difficult to put it back again afterwards. We try. Even if we have a good friend and suddenly there is a moment of anger, like I am remembering now as I speak of one situation, of a moment of anger, a person that you like very much, nothing against the person, but in the moment there is a strong moment of anger, something is broken. You can even put a lot of effort, it's possible, to say, okay, I don't want to be disturbed by it, no problem, I accept it, I understand you, but still, something remains there. Okay? So anger has an incredible power of destruction. So it's much worse than 10,000 snakes, poisonous snakes. When we have anger, we have no control over our speech and our action. No? We can say the things that are the most disturbing things that normally we would not say. Anger is not to be nervous, and it's two different things. Anger, it comes with the intention of harming. And it has this violence in the mind, violence in the speech, the violence in the body. And it's quite dangerous, actually. And for me, if we would be able to see how much anger harms us when we get angry, in the same way we can see if we take a knife and we cut ourselves. Okay? If I give you a knife, would you cut yourself? No. Why? Because we know it's painful and harmful. Okay? We simply continue to be angry because we are not able to see how much it really harms us. And normally, whenever we get angry, we think that we are a victim of something else and someone else. That's why I'm angry. Okay? But being angry is much worse than taking a knife and cutting ourselves. If we could see it, how harmful it is, we would not do it anymore, I think. I hope. No. So, it's something that it's really very, very, how do you say, poisonous. And it's similar also when a poison, when it starts from one point, like if you get bitten by a snake at one point, the poison goes through the whole body. The same way, when anger enters in one place, wherever anger enters, it destroys everything that is around. You can say the best words in the world, but they have no more meaning. No? I think how many times we have seen people, or we have done ourselves, of saying the right things in the wrong way. Does it work? No. Or even in the moment that we can have the most wonderful things, if we mix with anger, they're all destroyed. So it's like a poison that enters from one part and then it spreads through the whole body. Okay? So that's why it's also symbolized by the snake. And then there is also an explanation of the snake, which is said that the snake is an animal that when a person kills a snake, and the snake sees you in the moment of death, the snakes develop such an anger that this anger is carried for 9 lives. For 9 lives, this animal will be reborn with anger is able to keep the anger towards that person or that other being for 9 lifetimes. This is one explanation that is given. But it's to say that there is one of the aspects of the snake. Yes, Dr.
What's the difference between anger and hatred? Because like jealousy and envy,
No. There is, okay, we have kontro, kunzin, troa in Tibetan, which is, there is one feeling that is, I can be nervous, okay, which is, I am not comfortable. So finally, I am simply acting, maybe speaking more loudly, not being so gentle. I have no problem directly to anyone. Anger, it goes more with the intention of harming others. Okay? This intention of harming can become stronger. So when it's manifested into violence, verbal and physical violence, then it has another name in Tibetan. Okay? And then there is the hatred, I don't know exactly in English, but which is when we keep a bad feeling for a longer time. So, I don't know, maybe in English hatred it means more for that. Resentment, we would say more. But it's basically is this feeling that, okay, you did this, you did that, this resentment that we keep, but it's sort of anger. I keep aversion. I keep a sense of aversion, let's say, and often of violence also in our mind towards that person or that place or that situation and so on, okay? So, and then there is aversion, which is on the basis. Aversion is the more basic way, which is the simple instinct of wanting to create distance, okay? And we have aversion is actually very subtle. We can have aversion in a very subtle way. For example, anything that we get in contact with that we may see or experience as an object of a cause of suffering or a cause of non-pleasure, normally we have aversion. Just making a very simple example, okay? Something very subtle. It's very, very small. We're walking in a road, on a city or whatever, And then suddenly we have 3 people coming towards us. Okay? One person we think is beautiful. The other person we think is ugly. The other person is not beautiful or ugly. Okay? Towards the beautiful person, what reaction we have? Attraction, aversion, or indifference? Attraction. We like looking at this person. The person that we think is ugly, what reaction we have? Aversion. No, some bad feeling is coming. And the person we don't, it's neutral, not beautiful or ugly, indifference. Okay? So this is just to show how from very small things we can have aversion. So when the aversion builds up, it becomes anger. Because we recognize that person, that situation, that object as the cause of our suffering, and we want to eliminate it, we want to destroy it. Tawa dultulopo, we say in Tibetan, which is, I want to transform it into ashes. I want to transform it into, talwa means dust, yes. I want to transform it into dust. Okay, it's like, and then I want to sweep away the dust. No? I don't want to have anything of it. Like, and this can be transformed very easily into violence. Okay? So these are the different forms of this aversion that manifest. First is something little small in our mind. Then it can get stronger and can become verbal violence. Then it can become physical violence. Okay? And then it can have the intention of harming others. Okay? So all of this is emanation, like different, how to say, different manifestations of the same aversion. Okay? So we purified this. This is the main negativity that we need to purify at our heart chakra. But together with it, we also have impatience, nervousness, instability, sadness. Normally, I add also anxiety, depression, because it's 2 things that are quite present nowadays. Okay?
And which is the difference between anxiety and the fear?
Normally, I think that the fear is something that we feel also more in our sacral chakra, and it's more specific to something. Okay? Anxiety is more feeling uncomfortable with our own self and feeling uncomfortable with the environment and not necessarily connecting it to anything. Okay? I think it's more like this. When a person is anxious, when there is this anxiety, it's like not feeling comfortable with oneself. And physically, we can feel it more at the heart. Okay? Low. And while fear is something that is more connected to something specific, even though we don't know what's the specific thing, but something that may happen, okay? Then, sure, our emotions, they're all connected, no? With fear comes anxiety and so on. So it's not like, we are not like 100% clean, like or one or the other. Things are always mixed together, okay? So we purified these negativities and others also at our heart chakra, in the form of dark blue smoke, snakes, smoke, and dirt. As we inhale, we receive all the blessings of Buddha Kshobhya in the form of blue light and nectar. And then we concentrate and we do the mudra of stability. We concentrate in Buddha Kshobhya at our heart. And we concentrate in the qualities that we have developed with Buddha Kshobhya, that Buddha Kshobhya is representing in our heart. The opposite of anger is love and compassion. We have love, compassion, patience, calm, stability. Calm, for me, is the ability not to make things to be calm doesn't mean to be slow. We can do things very fast and with a lot of calm. Calm is the ability not to, overlap one thing with the other. Not overlapping things. It's like when we are not calm, we are doing one thing, and before we finish that, we're already trying to do another thing, and we mix them up, and then we get completely lost somehow. No? It's like if we think about a computer, when a computer goes into a crash, when the computer tries to do two tasks at the same time, because the processor of the computer is not able to do two things at the same time, okay? Okay, when we have a multiprocessor computer, that's why we have multiprocessors, in order to do more tasks at the same time. But basically, what happens is that normally you have is only one calculation at a time. It looks like the computer is doing things at the same time because it has some sort of a buffer. It does something that it will be needed after, and while that it's in the memory, it starts to do other calculations also. So it has a very good management of resources somehow. I think we have a better one, but still. What happens is that when we try to do two things at the same time, or where the computer has a mistake and it tries to do two calculations at the same time, it gets stuck. Okay? When we try to do two things at the same time, we also get stuck. We're not able to have two thoughts of the same kind at the same time, which means we can have two thoughts of the different type at the same time, which means we have 6 types of consciousness. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, which means the consciousness that perceives form, sound, taste, smell, touch, and mental images. So at the same time, I can see form and listen to sound. But if I try to have of the same type of consciousness 2 different thoughts at the same time, it's not possible. Only one at a time. Okay? Not entering into details about this right now, but to understand it better, we go when we study the 51 mental factors. Every thought is combined with 5 omnipresent mental factors. Okay? Tsorwa dushe sempayiche rekpa. There is a sensation, there is a mental direction, there is a discernment, there is an intention, and there is a contact. Okay? Together with every thought that we have. And we're not able to have at the same time 2 thoughts of the same kind. Which means I cannot have 2 visual consciousness at the same time, looking at 2 different objects. Okay? One after the other, yes, but not 2 at the same time. So when we try to put things together at the same time, we get blocked. So for me to do things with calm, it means do one thing, finish that, then do the other. So when we are able to put things in line in a good way, we can be very fast. But we are not overlapping one thing with the other. Okay? So we develop calm. Then, this is also an antidote against anxiety, in a way. Okay? Then, after that, we develop, so we have love, compassion, patience, inner stability. Then we have calm. Then there is spontaneous joy, the sensation of happiness, of joy that is not depending on any specific situation or object. We simply feel joy. This is one of the most beautiful types of joy that we can feel. And then there is spontaneous joy. Then we develop the pure aggregate of consciousness and the Dharma Dhatu wisdom. Okay? So this is basically, what I haven't said also is for each one of the Dhyani Buddhas, Amoghasiddhi, we develop the sacred action of force, the wrathful action. Aradhanasambhava is the sacred action of, we develop the full potential, the action of increasing. Akshobhya is the action of all the 4 actions together. Then Amitabha is the action of power, which is influence. And Vairochana, the action of pacification, pacifying action, okay? So, then once again, from our heart, many Amoghasiddhis manifest, manifest. Because it's in the heart, it's in the central channel, the Akshobhyas first go down to the central channel. Then on the navel chakra, where the right channel enters into, 3 fingers below the navel, is where the right and the left channel enters into the central channel. So the Akshobhyas go down, go to the right channel, go up, and then go out. And then when they go in, they do the same way around, no? Go in from the left nostrils, go down, and then go up again and reabsorb into Buddha Akshobhya at the heart. Okay? So then we have the commitments of Buddha Akshobhya, the samayas. And the commitments is to keep a vajra, to keep a bell, to keep the mudra, and to keep the pure bond with the guru. Okay? What does it mean to the commitment of keeping a bell, keeping a vajra, keeping the mudra? It doesn't mean that we need to buy the physical bell and dorje and have it always with us. Okay? Never let it go. I know a person that made a tattoo of a dorje, a bell. So always to have it with him. But basically, normally also when we have the vajra, like we also put in the mala, it's possible to have the little bell, the little dorje. But actually, this is the symbolic bell and dorje. Okay? The actual bell and vajra, the actual bell and dorje is method and wisdom. Okay? So never separate yourself. Always keep the vajra, which is method, bodhicitta, love and compassion towards others, great bliss. And within it, there is generosity, there is morality, there is the part of accumulation of merit, of helping others, and so on. Or joyful effort. This is the method. Wisdom, which is represented by the bell, is the correct view of reality. Okay? Is the understanding and perception of the true nature of reality. So this is represented by the bell. It's representing also male and female energy. But when we say always keep the bell and keep the dorje and keep the bell, it means never be separated from method and wisdom, from love, compassion, and wisdom. Okay? This is the meaning. And the mudra is the union of method and wisdom. Okay? So we should never let go method, wisdom, and the union of method and wisdom. Bliss, emptiness, and the union of bliss and emptiness. Okay? This is what is being represented when we say we should always remember, we should always keep the bell, the dorje, and the mudra. So these are representation, but in the practice, it's like every day remembering about bodhicitta, every day remembering about emptiness, and putting the two together. Every day generating bliss, with this bliss, reflecting about emptiness and uniting the bliss together with emptiness. This is the meaning of keeping the vajra, keeping the bell, keeping the mudra. Then, keeping a perfect bond with the guru is the most important of all tantric samayas, of all tantric vows. Okay? The bond with the guru is basically the friendship, the commitment that we have when we take refuge, which is a commitment of trust, a commitment of love, a commitment of being sincere. Okay? And basically it's the commitment to follow together the path to enlightenment. So it's very important for us always to keep it purely. It's actually prior. Yesterday we talked a little bit more about all these aspects, but when we have the commitment of Akshobhya, which is the most important commitment of all tantric vows that we have, is to keep pure the commitment with our guru. And it's not like, okay, I said that I would do this and I did it. This is also important to keep our word, but it's much deeper. As I was saying yesterday, to have a good friendship, when I have a good relation with a person, in Tibetan we said, between me and him, our commitments are very pure. When we have a pure commitment between each other, it means that there is no conflict, no aversion, no bad judgment. And this is what is important for us to keep with our guru. So to keep a pure commitment, it depends on us relating in a pure way. And this is one of the main commitments that we have for ourselves, okay? So this is the commitment of Akshobhya. Well, after that we go to the throat chakra, Buddha Amitabha. And in Buddha Amitabha we have, we say Lama Che Dorje Kyen, so please Guru Buddha Amitabha, the all-knowing one. We do the Garuda Mudra, we receive the Vajra empowerment. So Vajra, we imagine from Buddha Amitabha, it's coming like a Vajra that absorbs into us, or we receive it in our hand, okay? And then after that is coming all the nectars pouring in our crown. And through the Vajra from Amitabha, we experience a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness that purifies our unlimited attachment, unlimited desire. When we talk about unlimited attachment and unlimited desire, basically the concept of unlimited attachment or unlimited desire is that whenever we have attachment and desire towards an object that is not able to keep our satisfaction, it becomes unlimited. Okay? So, if there is something that the more I have, the better I am, it is not unlimited. It's okay. If I have attachment and desire towards something that the more I have, it won't make me more happy, then it becomes unlimited, because we always need more and more to be satisfied. So what are the things that the more I have, the better I am? Love, compassion, patience, joy, stability, faith, respect, gratitude, or inner qualities. It's not like the more love I have, the less impact. No, the more love I feel, the more happy I am. The more wisdom I have, the better it is. Instead, material things, pleasures, and so on, the more I have, the more I need. They're not able to keep our own happiness. We were talking about this the first day, no? When I gave the example of water. I can drink as much water as I want. It won't be able to keep the sensation of satisfaction. Okay? It will always need more and more and more. It will give less and less pleasure the more I drink it, until a moment where it becomes suffering. So, this is the same with all pleasure. So when we say that we purify our unlimited attachment and unlimited desire, we use this word unlimited because when we just say purify attachment and desire, sometimes we mix in our mind and we think, oh, then, but some desires are good. It's true. To desire to reach enlightenment for all the benefit of all sentient beings. Bodhicitta itself is a form of desire. So it's good. There are some desires that are positives, some attachments that are positives. Okay? I develop a state of balance and joy and love, and I don't want to let it go. That's good. I find a good path to enlightenment that is of benefit for myself and others. I don't want to let it go. That's good. But when we have attachment towards things that are not able to keep our satisfaction, to keep our joy, this is not good. Okay? That's what we call unlimited attachment, unlimited desire. So we purify this. We also purify in our throat chakra our insatisfaction, which is a result of unlimited attachment and desire, and our lack of concentration, okay? Which is also a result of insatisfaction, because when we are not able to concentrate normally, our mind is mostly taken by objects of desire. Then, we purify it in the form of dark red hens, like chickens. Okay? The chicken is an animal that, what is the chicken doing the whole day? Eating, picking. No? It is there, if we look, it's all the day eating at the same time, okay? So what we do with our desire is never enough. We always want to take more and more and more and more and more and more. Okay? And at the same time, we become totally, we are so focused by our own desire that we are not able to see anything else. No? So it's like if we're like the chicken looking down and only eating and not able to see everything that is around. Okay? So this is our attitude with our unlimited attachment and desire. Okay?
We are always wanting more and more and more and more and more and more and looking. So, but we are never really able to stop and look around and say, okay, that's enough. Okay? And another thing which sometimes I think is that attachment makes people stupid. Desire makes people stupid. Why? Because when we have a lot of desire for something, we're not able to look at anything else. Okay? And chicken is quite a stupid animal. Okay? In the sense that nothing against chicken, I think they're very nice animals, but still, they have this problem that, for example, if you take a chicken, in Brazil we have a lot of chickens, no? If you take a chicken and then you make a line in the floor, and then you take the head of the chicken and you show the line like this a few times, the chicken stays there for a long time. Okay? This is children's playing in Brazil, like playing with animals, okay? But something even more terrible that nowadays is done with chickens is that they saw that when the light is turned off, the chicken thinks it's night. So it goes to sleep. When the light is turned on, it thinks it's day. So a new day. And by nature, the chicken is making one egg every day. So what in this egg factory is what they do? They turn on and off the light maybe 5 times a day, so the chicken makes 5 eggs a day. The chicken have a much shorter life, very stressed up, but makes 5 eggs, so we have better profit. And the eggs have much less proteins and so on because of how they're made. Anyhow, we're not talking about this subject now. It's just that the chicken somehow is not a very intelligent animal. Okay? And when we are driven by our unlimited attachment and desire, we become stupid also. Okay? So this is just, we take this aspect of our unlimited attachment, desire, of our lack of concentration, of our also the violent speech, and we throw it out in the form of dark red hands and chickens and black smoke and dirt. Okay? We also purify the aggregate of discernment and the wisdom of discernment. Actually, the name of the wisdom is not exactly wisdom of discernment. It's sosortokpe yeshe. Sosortokpa means the wisdom that understands or perceives each and everything, one from the other. So, which is basically the wisdom that discerns one thing from the other. Okay? So, we develop a better discernment. So when we inhale blue light and nectar from Guru Buddha Kshobhya at the heart of Guru Buddha to us, it fills our body. We do the mudra of stability. We concentrate at Guru Buddha Akshobhya at our heart. No, sorry, Amitabha. No, we are at the throat chakra. Sorry. So as we do, we inhale blue light, red light and nectar, fills our body, and then we concentrate. We do the mudra of Amitabha, of concentration. We concentrate on Buddha Amitabha at our throat, okay? And then we concentrate on the qualities that we developed, which is satisfaction. In Tibetan we say Duchung Chokshe. Satisfaction is made out of 2 qualities, which is to have small desires and to be satisfied. It's 2 different qualities. To have little desires and to have satisfaction. The difference is like this. Let's say I'm drinking water, and I like very much my water. If I am satisfied, I don't need more water. It's enough the water I have. But if I have big desire, I can say I'm satisfied with my water, but now I need some juice. And I also like other things. I'm not giving up the water. I like it, but I need other things also. Okay? To have small desire and to have satisfaction, it means it's enough of water, and I don't need other different things also. Okay? So these 2 together makes what we call satisfaction. Okay? Which means to be happy with what we have. It's enough. That's what I am. I'm happy with it. And satisfaction is one of the greatest keys to happiness. Once we are satisfied, what else do we want? There is one story about satisfaction I tell very often because it touched me. When I went to the monastery one time, back from Europe, I went to my teacher and I gave him two pairs of socks. Nice cotton socks, and red in color, like the right color for a monk, nice socks and so on. And he took the socks. When I gave to him, he said, "Thank you." And then he looked and he said, "What do I do with this?" And then he liked also making jokes and that, so I looked at him and I said, "Gela, do you see socks, shoes, foot, some relation in between?" Okay? And then he said, "No, my point is, what do? I already have 2 pairs of socks." And then he showed me. I remember very well, he was sitting in his bed, because in the monastery you do everything in the bed. The whole day you meditate, you eat, you study, you talk with friends. The last thing you do is to sleep. You know? And they all have in the bed one carpet. Because, I don't know, Tibetans in Tibet, it was made a lot of sense to have a woolen carpet where you sleep because it's warm. And I don't know why they still keep the carpets in India with 40 degrees, but anyhow. The carpet is there. So he raised up the carpet, and under the carpet he had 1 pair of socks, which were clean. And then he said, "Okay, silly, these are my clean socks, which I just washed. And there, together with the shoes, these are the socks that I'm using now. So why do I need another pair of socks?" And I said to him, "Look, the pair of socks that you have, they're old." For example, he needed to put an extra, he used to put the socks, and then he would use to put one elastic for paper, little thick elastic for paper, to keep the sock up. Okay? And I was saying, these socks which I brought you are made of cotton. You don't find the socks here in India. They are good for you. So I started to explain all the qualities of the sock that I gave to him and why and so on. And then suddenly he looked to me and he said, "Okay, thank you." The next day or a few days after, I looked around and I saw another 2 monks wearing the socks that I gave to him. No? And his point was, I am happy with the 2 socks I have. Why do I need more? Because one thing that he taught me in different situations, he said, once you are having something and it's working, don't try to get more. Because in the moment you try to get more, what happens is that finally you have less. Because you need more and more. And he makes another example from him with this, which I think is a very good example. We were living in the same house for a few years. And then one moment, I was cooking every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for myself. And he was also cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for himself. And then one day I went to him and I said, "Gela, we are living in the same house. Okay, we have 2 stoves, 2 fridges, and there was a sort of a big kitchen with a storeroom that became a sort of a kitchen there in the house." And I said, "Why we don't do like this? I cook one day for both of us, you cook one day for both of us, and we eat together." He said, "No." Okay. No explanation. Eh? Then I said one other day, I said, "Gela, maybe I cook every day for both of us?" "No." "Maybe you cook every day, I make the shopping, we find a way?" He said, "No." I said, "But why?" And he was not really saying much. Then one day I said, "Gela, but explain me why." No? And he said, "Do we get along well?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I also think so." "Are we good friends and we live together? We live well together?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I also think so." "Do we have any problems within us?" I said, "No, I don't see." And he said, "I also don't see any problems. So we are good friends, we get along well together, everything is fine, no?" I said, "Yes. That's why we don't cook together." And then he said, "When everything is fine, just keep it like this. Because when you get too near, then you will get conflict. Then you will not be happy one day how I cooked. I will not be happy one day how you cook. Then you don't tell me because you don't want to upset me. You don't say, but then something small is there, and then it's this and there, and then you have one expectation which is not fulfilled, and then I have another expectation, and then slowly, we have conflict." Instead, if it's good like this, let's just keep it as it is. Because we are happy. You know? Very often, what happens is when something is good, we want even more. So what we do, we try more and more and more and more, and finally what happens? We have less. Okay? So even if materially we have more, our experiences we have less because we have less satisfaction. Okay? We can see this quite clear very often in couples, in relationship in family, in our relationship with material things. Okay? When something is working, just leave it like that. It could be better. Nothing is better than good. If I'm happy, if it brings me joy, if it makes me satisfied, nothing can be better than that. Because what I want really is the sensation of joy, is the sensation of satisfaction. And if I'm gaining it in this way, wonderful. Okay? Just cultivate it. Don't try to get more and more and more. So this means satisfaction also. And another time, also again, Lakpala, I was fixing the house. And when I arrived in the monastery, the toilets, they were really not very good. Okay? So what happened is that one day I chose, okay, I fixed the toilets, like just one example. When I had a shower, there was a very small pipe going out, and the water was getting down in the middle of the courtyard where the monks sat in a circle to eat. So I could never have shower when there was anyone there. They would not make much problem with it, but I would not feel comfortable. So, okay, this was one thing that I did. Okay, make a nice thing for the water to get out, the pipe to go down, not to go like this. So one day I fixed the toilets, and then I started seeing, then there was some problem in the room. For example, in the room where we eat, which was a sort of a big corridor, there was this big table. The table was fitting 8 people, okay? But we could only eat in 4. Because the table was old and was a little broken, so if it was not touching 2 walls, it would fall down. And there was a chair also like this. A chair someone could sit only if the chair was touching the wall. So one day I went after this fixing one thing, then I said to Gela, maybe we buy a new table. No? And he said, why? And I said, because this table is broken. He said, why it's broken? And he said, can you use it? I said, yes, we can use it, but if more people come, it's not enough. I said, how often more people come? I said, maybe a few times a year. I said, and normally what do we do? I said, oh, we eat in your room. We had a big room with maybe 4 beds, and each bed 2 people sit with the little table in front. I said, we eat there normally. I said, yes, and isn't it good? I said, it's nice, so why we need a new table? It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of being happy with what you have. And then I was complaining about the chair, and he said, what's the problem of the chair? It's working, no? Somehow, yes. But what happened is that I started to have many new things I wanted, which were like, okay, the light was not nice in the kitchen, many things. I changed some little things, but many things. Then one day he looked at me and he said, listen, I will help you in anything you like to do in the house. For example, one thing I wanted to do, I never did. In the center place, there were around, it was like a sort of a big corridor with no windows because around were the rooms. And on top, higher, there were the windows. But these windows were not so well done, so anytime that you had strong rain, it was coming water inside. And we had the monsoon in India, so this was happening a few times. So I wanted to change the windows. And his question was, why you need to change the windows? Oh, because it's raining inside. Can you get buckets? Yes. So why to change the windows? Okay. And the point is, so he came that day to me and he said, listen, if you want to do anything in the house that you really think is necessary and will make you more happy, I will help you. But remember, desire has no end. So I looked, and at that moment, it made a click inside of me. And I was saying, was I happy with the thing, how things were before? Yes. And when I started changing things, then my level of satisfaction got lower and lower. For example, the floor of my room, it was cement, and I just put this plastic thing on top, and I was happy with the plastic thing. Then when I started fixing the house here and there, I wanted to put a wooden floor. Then I wanted this. So when I would enter the house, I would look at my floor and say, oh, that's not nice, insatisfaction. And I started, at that moment, gave me a click, and I said, oh, what I want is to be happy. So what I need is satisfaction. And it's not to be satisfied. It's not the more I get, the more I need. So it's better to be enough. And then what I did at that time is there was some jobs that I was doing to fix in the kitchen something, and I didn't finish it on purpose. Because always to remember there is never end. So leave something, I have this thing of leaving something unfinished to remember that there is never end. There's always something that you will do after. So be happy with what you have if the functions are going well. Okay? So Amitabha, satisfaction. That's a great quality that we can develop. Okay? And then...
A lot of things got clear now.
Okay. So, in the throat chakra, we purify our insatisfaction, we develop the satisfaction, and at the same time also we have concentration, pure speech, and the pure aggregate of discernment and the wisdom of discernment. Okay? Yeah?
Do you understand correctly that the antidote of desire is concentration on what is there?
The antidote of desire, concentration on the present moment helps. Because if we think most of our desire is for something that is in the future, very difficultly we have desire for the present moment. Okay? And insatisfaction also is mostly connected with the future, it's not connected with the present. It's always what I could have and I don't have, what I should have and I don't have. Okay? So if we are concentrated in the present, it's very much connected to satisfaction also, yes. So this is if Buddha Amitabha, then we do Om Amitabha Hum. And in the same way, we visualize the Amitabhas going out from our throat chakra. So they go down to the navel, get out, up again, and then go to all the sentient beings, mostly afflicted by insatisfaction and attachment, desire. And then they come back and reabsorb back into our throat chakra, as all the sentient beings around us have reached the state of Buddha Amitabha and are reciting together with us the mantra of Amitabha, and they are in the form of Buddha Amitabha and the great mother of fire, Pandharavarsini. Okay? Then, from our crown chakra, Lama Nangze Dorje Kyen. So the commitments of Buddha Amitabha, the samayas, are to keep, basically the commitment of Amitabha is to keep the sutra, the teachings of the sutra and the tantra, okay, of the lower and higher class of tantra, which means to keep the teachings of sutra and tantra. To keep the teachings of sutra and tantra means not only to study them, but to put them into practice, okay? So to keep alive the teachings of sutra and tantra. And we do that by learning, by sharing, and by practicing. Okay? So this is the samaya of Buddha Amitabha, which is connected to the speech. So it's also keeping the teachings of sutra and tantra. Okay? Then after that we go to Buddha Vajrayana at the crown chakra, Lama Nangze Dorje Kyen. And as we do Lama Nangze Dorje Kyen, we request the blessings from Buddha Vajrayana at the crown. And we receive the name empowerment. The name empowerment, we receive it as Buddha Vajrayana tells us which is our name, gives us a name. So the name that Buddha Vajrayana is giving is one of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So he's giving us the name of, oh, your name is Varatnasambhava, your name is Amoghasiddhi, your name is Akshobhya, your name is Amitabha, your name is Vajrayana. Okay? And normally it's represented by the bell and the dorje together. And then we see sometimes when Rinpoche is doing it, and he does like, you know, because when the bell is ringing is when the name is being given. Okay? So we visualize that we receive, the name is being given to us, and when we receive the name, this gives a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness, and then we do purify at our crown chakra all our negativities, especially ignorance, lack of inner space, wrong view of reality of oneself and others, in the form of black peaks, smoke, and dirt. The peaks represent ignorance in this case, because the peak have no good discernment of what to eat and what not to eat. Okay? So the peak is just eating whatever is there. Similar to that, we eat everything that everything that appears to us, we eat it as being true. We believe in the appearance. If we even think how much information is given to us and we simply believe in it, we take it as being true. No? It's like a pig that just go eating things. Anything that is given, the pig is just eating. Similar to that, everything that appears to us, we just take it as being true. Okay? This is our ignorance. This is the representation of the pig representing ignorance. So, basically what we purify is ignorance. Then normally we explain also a little bit more detail, saying, okay, we purify like lack of inner space and the wrong view of reality. And why? Because it's just to make it, to help to understand the meaning of ignorance. But basically it's ignorance, okay? And we can think about the many forms of ignorance, the ignorance of not seeing the law of cause and effect, the ignorance of grasping at phenomena as being permanent, the ignorance of grasping at phenomena as being of inherent existence, and so on, okay? So we purify our ignorance. We receive all the blessings in the form of white light and nectar. Also here, there is always the pouring of nectar as we receive the empowerment also. And then with white light and nectar, we concentrate in Buddha Vajrayana at our crown. We do the mudra of teaching the Dharma, of turning the Dharma wheel. There are different mudras of Buddha Vajrayana. This is one of them that we do normally in self-healing. There is also this mudra. Okay? There is also this mudra. But normally we do, most of it is the mudra. And there is also this mudra, I think. I think it's like this. Okay? Anyhow, normally we do the mudra, most simple one, which Lama Ganshan also calls the okay mudra. Because once you have wisdom, everything is okay. Okay? So, and then we visualize then again, we concentrate on the qualities of Buddha Vajrayana, which is wisdom, correct view of reality, the mirror-like wisdom, so the ability to perceive everything around us, and the pure aggregate of form. The pure aggregate, so we have infinite inner space, the pure aggregate of form, which means our body, in a totally balanced and harmonious way, in a gross, subtle, and very subtle level. Okay? So this is as we do the part of Buddha Vajrayana. The commitments of Buddha Vajrayana are to take refuge in Buddha, to take refuge in the Dharma, to take refuge in the Sangha, to avoid all negative actions, to accumulate positive actions, and to benefit others. Okay? So, basically, the commitments that we take to keep the wisdom, to keep the energy of Buddha Vajrayana is to take refuge in Buddha, to take refuge in the Dharma, to take refuge in the Sangha, and then to have to keep the three types of morality. In the Buddhist teachings, all the moralities are combined into these three types of morality, which is the morality to avoid negative actions, the morality to accomplish virtuous actions, and the morality to benefit others. Okay? So this is the commitments of Buddha Vajrayana. If we look at all the commitments of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, they're not so difficult. They may be a little bit more difficult. One is the one of Akshobhya, keeping the bell, keeping the Vajra, and keeping the Mudra. This is maybe a little bit more difficult for us always to remember about bodhicitta and correct view of reality and so on. But if we do on our own level, it's possible. There's nothing so difficult within this community. There's nothing like, oh, I cannot do it. It's just a matter of remembering it, mostly. Okay? So, In this way, we conclude the part which is called, within the vase empowerment, the vase empowerment is divided into two parts, which is called Dorje Leme Wang and Dorje Lebengi Wang. Dorje Leme Wang is the empowerment of the Vajra disciple. Dorje Lebengi Wang is the empowerment of the Vajra master. So the 5 empowerments of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas are called the empowerments of the Vajra disciple. And then after that, we have the empowerment of Vajra master, in which we visualize ourselves as the deity, which means everything dissolves into emptiness. And in an instant, we appear in the form of Buddha Vajradhara. So it's like if all the 5 Dhyani Buddhas melt together, and from the union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, we appear as Buddha Vajradhara, which is the union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So we appear sitting in a beautiful throne with a lotus seat, sun and a moon cushion. We are in the form of Buddha Vajradhara, holding Vajra and bell. We are in union with the mother Vajradhatushvari, which means the perfect balance between male and female energy. Our body is blue in color. We are holding Vajra and bell as we do the hugging mudra. Okay. Normally when we do this mudra, we do it like this. No? The reason why we do this is basically because we are supposed to be holding the Vajra and the bell. Okay? So we are holding Vajra and bell as we do the hugging mudra. And then in this moment, basically what we do is that we generate ourselves as the union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. It's like, okay, my 5 aggregates are pure. So what's the conclusion? I am a Buddha. My 5 wisdoms are fully developed. My defilements are fully eliminated. My qualities are fully developed. My aggregates are pure. So what am I? I am a Buddha in the state of union of great bliss and emptiness. Vajradhara. Vajra means the dorje, diamond, indestructible. Dhara means holder, to hold. Okay? Dorje Chang. What does that mean? It's the one that holds the indestructible union of great bliss and emptiness. The one that holds the indestructible union of method and wisdom. So, as we do the mudra and we visualize ourselves as Buddha Vajradhara, as the perfect union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Okay? So this is basically the essence of the Vajra Master empowerment. If we want to recite something, we can say, Rani Kechiki Dorje Chantu Gyur. In an instant, I appear as Buddha Vajradhara. That's the meaning. But normally we do not recite anything in self-healing. We simply do the mudra of the hugging mudra. And then we imagine that within this state of the union of great bliss and emptiness, we have reached the state of Buddhahood. There is no more difference between us and any other holy being. And then there is no more enemies. When we say the hugging mudra, which symbolizes there are no more enemies, because we are full of love and compassion and wisdom towards all sentient beings. Okay? Actually, the Vajra Master empowerment can be very complex. If we want here, we can do again the 3 transformations, which means everything dissolves into light. We meditate on the transforming death into Dharmakaya, birth into Sambhogakaya, rebirth into Nirmanakaya is possible. Or simply we do what is called instant generation, Kechi Tronker, which in an instant, it's like I am in the form of Vajrasattva with the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and then suddenly everything melts together in the direction of the heart. It's like, and then from the heart, then again, it reappears again. But I appear in the form of Buddha Vajradhara. Okay? And as I appear as Buddha Vajradhara, I concentrate in the fact of being the union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. One of the meanings of my own understanding of this is that before, during the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, we generated the basis of imputation. It's like having the book and making the pages beautiful, the cover beautiful, each part perfectly. And then after I put all together and I give the name, a beautiful book. Okay? Similar to that, I have the 5 aggregates pure, the defilements have been purified, the qualities have been developed. So what is the union of all of this? I am a Buddha. So this is what we generate as we do the Vajra Master empowerment. Okay? Normally we just do the hugging mudra, And we can stay in this state for a few seconds, for a few minutes, for the time that we feel comfortable to do it. Okay?
Why, as the Vajrayana Buddhas are already in a way in union with the mother and milk energy, and then at the Vajrasattva, Vajradhara, then we really visualize also with the Vajradhara. Why then we do this too?
The reason is that normally, first we are focusing our energy basically on the 5 Dhyani Buddha's qualities, no? As I said before, there are different levels and different ways how we can do the whole visualization. So it's possible at this moment of the practice during the initiation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas to visualize the 5 Dhyani Buddhas in union with the 5 great Mudras or not. Both of the ways is possible. Okay? We visualize ourselves in union with Vajradhara because this is a symbol that represents the perfect balance between male and female energy, the perfect union of method and wisdom also. Okay? So this is, and it's also symbolizing the mind of clear light. It's like this union of great bliss and emptiness within the deeper states of consciousness is also being symbolized by it. Okay? Okay, so with this we conclude what is called the Vajra Master Empowerment. Yeah, one question?
One question regarding the blessing. You said this empowerment and blessing is the same. But I wonder if there is a difference between if I realize or visualize
Yeah?
the blessing or I get it direct. From a Lama.
Okay, the difference is the following. When we receive an initiation, okay, basically it's more or less the same visualizations as we are doing, but the Lama that is giving the initiation, the master, he's doing the visualization for us also. So there is a transmission of energy at that point, okay? Normally, for us to do a self-initiation, we need first to have received an initiation, okay? Rinpoche, when he gave doing self-healing, he gave us the permission to do it even without having received a direct transmission before. So it's not that people are not allowed to do it, okay? But it's much better if we have received the transmission, if we have received the initiation. Because when we receive the initiation, the connection is made, and it's like if we are reestablishing the connection that was already made. This is basically what we do somehow when we do the self-initiation, okay? The difference when we receive the initiation from someone and when we do ourselves is that there is the concentration, the energy of the person that is giving the initiation also. It's not only ourselves with our own visualization. If we do it really, really in the right, correct way, we can receive the whole blessings, full blessings without any difference. Okay. Okay, so I would say we can stop here for lunch. And then, so with this we have the, we conclude this part of the practice, which is very important. And what we still have to see only is the secret empowerment, the wisdom empowerment, the word empowerment, and the conclusion, which we will do quite in a simple way, because it can be extremely complex, but we will do with mainly the essence of it, okay? So we have gone a little bit beyond time. But I think if we come back like 3:15, okay? Because I must leave from here today at 6. I mean, leave means going with the car, basically because I have the plane to catch. But there is no problem. If we finish 5 to 6, it's okay. No? So somehow I think, so we stop now for lunch, okay? Jetsu lame kotse raptenchi namkar tinle chochur gepada losan tempe drume sasungi drowe minse tatu ne gyurchi nimo dele tsendele nime kuyan delekshin ninsen taktu delekpe koncho sumki jingilo Concho sumge ngodrup tsol, concho sumge trashisho. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations
and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness. Omo ahon tenpa lame sangye rinpoche, kyoba lame tamcho rinpoche, rinpa lame gindu rinpoche, kyabne kuncho sumla chopa, locho sampo pagyu trashi pa, tuche tempe tinle yarngon, pekye drolo zambe zebrach, pande lame shela chopa. Buon appetito.